Hello, everybody. I'm excited to have this opportunity to share the word of the Lord with you. This is not just a sermon, it's not just a message. This is an excavation of clutter that's stopping you from evolving into what God would have you to be. The message is called Surviving is Not Enough. Stop praying to a mighty God that you would survive. Jesus didn't die so you would survive. He survived. He died so that you might succeed, that you might have life, that you might have it more abundantly. You've been in survival mode so long that for you, success is survival. But I come to tell you there are two different things. The message today is surviving is not enough. Don't be afraid to say it. Surviving is not enough. Gospel of St. John, chapter 5, verse 1 through 13. There you will find the word of the Lord. The pool of Bethesda was designated for the halt, the lame, and the blind. And they congregated there on their porches. On their porches, each in its own category. They congregated there, surviving in the midst of a completely paradoxical situation. One side, people are busy moving. In fact, they're near the sheep market. Industry is going on, productivity is going on, business is going on, children are playing, commerce is moving, politics are going on, but these are the folk that are stuck. 5 porches for 5 different reasons, 5 different categories. They do not share the same reason, but it has left the same result. One man is blind, that's why he's there. Another man is halt, that's why he's there. He can see, but he's halt, and he cannot move. The other man, he walks fine. He can see good, but he's withered. He's withered. He can't work because he's withered. The only thing they have in common is that each of them have some malady, some trauma, some physical infirmity that has brought them to this place. Now, the pool of Bethesda is also indicative of the times in which the text is taken. There were no medical hospitals to take these people that they might be made whole. This was a holding place for people who weren't dead but weren't alive. Stuck in a state betwixt and between not quite being well enough to enter into the commerce and the life and the happiness going around them, but not dead enough to be in the cemetery. They were stuck. And every day that they lived, they enjoyed the fact that they had survived. Because in an environment that lends itself to people who have been through catastrophic situations, it is not uncommon to lose somebody every day. So whether you got well or not, instead of celebrating the fact that you got well, to some degree, the very fact that you are still alive is celebration within itself. I want you to understand this because the text suggests a pathology evolves around this pool. A pathology that is given to people who have survived. I want you to listen at them and think about you. Because it is possible to develop a mentality to fit your environment that simply makes the best of a bad situation. I'm not happy. I'm not living my life to the fullest. I'm not getting the most out of my life. So I'm going to bring my expectation down to my reality and enjoy the fact that at least they didn't carry me off to the morgue today. I'm still here. We're still married. You know how your mama told you still got a roof over your head. Never mind that it leaks and it's caving in and it hadn't been painted for 20 years. Just thank God you still got a roof over top of your head. Some of the torture of the pool of Bethesda exists in the commerce in which it is surrounded. Because if I am down and everybody else is down around me, then down becomes normal. But what makes down terrible is when you are down and you can still see up. If you're going to keep a people enslaved, don't teach them how to read. Because reading people escape their environment and see lifestyles of other people and dare to warn it. Don't let them have a television, because they'll see that all the young people are not barefoot and living in huts. They'll see, when people see something beyond them, generally it will make them go after it. I'm a big believer in exposure. Exposing people to different things. A lot of times people don't want anything because they have not been exposed to anything. When we read that the pool of Bethesda existed beside the sheep market, we don't pay any attention to it, but the contrast is glaring at me. That on one hand, herds of sheep are being brought down to the market to be sold, and commerce and business and life and productivity is going on, and on the other side they're picking their sores and wrapping their wounds because they are stuck in a state of survival. This may be the most important message you will ever hear in your life, because I am learning as a leader. I don't care how anointed you are. I don't care how gifted you are to speak. I don't care how well you can sing. Just because you're anointed does not mean you escape the subculture that you develop around dysfunction that holds you a prisoner. Sing all you want to. Canaries sing, but they're still in a cage. Preach all you want to, but you can say something with your mouth that you do not live with your life. The blind had a porch. The lame had a porch. And the halt had a porch. You know, when I do workshops outside of the church on leadership and human development, I tell people, if you want to know where you are or what porch you're on, look in your cell phone. Because your cell phone will tell me who you talk to. And whoever you spend your time talking to, that's the porch you're on. Ooh, it's going to be tight this morning, Lord. You cannot surround yourself with blindness and expect to see. You cannot run with packs of angry women and expect to be happy and fulfilled. You cannot hang out with a bunch of defeated, going nowhere, no vision men and be an overcomer. You are who you hang around. So I want to ask you, what is the name of your porch? You can't run around with prejudiced people and not be prejudiced. You can't run around with arrogant people and not be arrogant. What is the name of your porch? Blind people all got together because they understood each other. They enabled each other. They empowered each other. Blind man said, I can't see. The other one said, I know what you mean. One said, I can see shadows. The other said, I can't see anything at all. They developed a system of survival built around what would not go away. Oh, it sounds like our communities. We have systems of survival built built around what will not go away. If we could heal it, we would leave it. But since we can't heal it, we make it nice and comfortable and fix it up and say we like it. Nobody likes to be afraid to come out of their house. Nobody likes to be mugged. Nobody likes to have their car stolen. Nobody likes being raped. Nobody likes being broke. Nobody likes being lonely. Nobody likes being fired. Nobody likes being a victim of domestic violence. Nobody likes negativity. But if you're not careful, you will build a system around something that you have lost the faith that it could change. Defining yourself by a dysfunction. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that. And I run with the this and the that of it all. You've locked yourself in a perpetual state of dysfunction and developed a cultural survival mechanism to fit what doesn't work in your life. We still have porches today, people. We have porches today. We have hangout spots for whatever you're into. America is full of porches. Some of our churches are porches. Built around like-minded people who hang out together, afraid to get out of your box and away from your tribe and out of your comfort zone so that you can have a real experience. You're stuck on a porch. Now, they are survivors, it is true. They are survivors. They're not dead. They made it. But is surviving the success that Jesus wants you to have? Or did he say, I come that you might have life and have it more abundantly? So Jesus comes down to the pool, and the Bible says when he looked around and saw this lame man, and he saw him lying there, and how long he had been lying there, the answer asked a question. You say Jesus is the answer, and I agree with you, and he is the answer, but the answer, the sovereign God, the all-knowing God, the God who is omniscient, the God who has seen the end from the beginning. When he saw this man's position and his condition, the God who knows everything said, do you want to be made whole? I used to think that this was an unintelligent question. Because how could you see somebody who was lame 38 years and ask them, do they want to be well? That seems silly to me. Until I read a little closer, it said when he saw him lie there, when he saw his behavior. You see what I'm saying? You got me, don't you? He said, nothing in your actions lets me know that you want to get up. Oh! So, I'm confused. I'm confused. How could you be this sick, this long, and be that comfortable? You mean you got a bed in this mess? You mean you got you a teddy bear and a radio in this mess? And he said, oh God, I feel like preaching this morning. He said, I don't want to disturb you if you like where you are. And I don't know about you, I'm tired of disturbing people who like where they are. So, he says, I realize that 38 years you escaped death. 38 years you're still alive. 38 years you made it through. 38 years you're holding on. But I'm just confused. Is survival all you want? Because if survival is all you want, stop praying to me. If all you want me to do is sustain you in the same position that you're already in, then leave me alone. He says, wilt thou be made whole? Wilt thou? He said, because I cannot do this against your will. You and I are going to have to be in agreement. I can't tell you how many people I meet who curse their own deliverance. Subconsciously, they sabotage their own success. They run away from them, anybody who loves them, because they don't feel lovable. And if anything starts going too good, they'll find something bad to focus on until they mess it up, because they are hell-bent on staying in their bed. Have you developed an addiction to your affliction? Because even God says, I don't want to take you where you don't want to go. Wilt thou be made whole? Do you want to change? Or do you just want God to make convenient your porch? I want some air conditioning, Lord. Yeah, I want it, man. I want some air conditioning, Lord. If I could have some carpet up in here, sure would be nice. But you're still on the porch. You just decorated it. I want to be able to get me a new dress when I want to go out on the weekends. You're just decorating the porch. Can I go a little deeper? So Jesus asked the man, he said, wilt thou be made whole? And let me ask you, wilt thou be made whole? Then Jesus is confused because he said, I ought to be able to look at your situation and tell you don't want to stay there. But because you seem so comfortable in it, I'm confused. Wilt thou be made? He said, well, yeah, but let me show you why I'm like this. First of all, I'm like this because of what I didn't get. I didn't have anybody to carry me into the pool. It's not that I didn't have opportunities, but when I got the opportunity, I didn't have the support. So I'm like this because of who wouldn't carry me. I'm like this because of where I was raised. I'm like this color of my skin. I'm like this because I didn't have a father. I'm like this because I didn't have a mother. I'm like this because of my first husband. I'm like this because of what my pastor said about me. I'm like this. Oh, I'm losing amens, Lord. I'm losing. They're going down quick too, Lord. You got to give me something, bring them back, because they about gone now. They just about. Anytime you justify your condition, you have given it license to stay. So I'm like this because of what I didn't have. And then the second reason I'm like this is when I did decide to try, I tried a couple times. I did. I dated a couple of times. I did, Lord. I did. When I tried, it didn't go right. I don't know what the world's wrong with it, but I tried. I tried, Lord. And while I was getting up, somebody got in front of me. I just stayed in. They wanted it. I want to ask the people that want it, do you want it bad enough to get in somebody's way to go get it? Because you can't be polite and get this. There comes a time that you got to say, if you don't want nothing, get out the way. If you excuse me, I got to go for it. Yeah. High five somebody, say, I'm going to get it this year. Yeah, this is my year. Double caution. This is my year. I survived last year. I'm going to succeed. If survival is not enough, give God a 30-second crazy praise up in here. I know he was lame. I get that. I feel sorry for him. I know that when you're lame, you can't move fast. But he had 38 years. That's the way somebody's coming out. You slow, but you coming. You dragging, but you coming. You need a strategy, but you coming. It took you a while to position yourself, but here you come. Tell your neighbor, survival is not enough. 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 It's not enough. It's not. It's not enough. It's not enough. It's not. It's not. I'm out of time. I've got to stop there. It's been a real joy to share this message with you. It is so much the substratum of the way that I think and the way that I feel and the way that God has spoken in my life to teach you that surviving is not enough. For a slave, as long as you got 3 meals a day and a tent to sleep in and a place to go tomorrow, you're happy. But if you're a son of a king, the son of a god, the son of a king, the son of a queen, the son of a mighty emperor, then you understand that 3 square and a cot is not enough. You want more out of life than that, and that's not greed. I'm not talking about greedy or lusting after other people's stuff or being driven by ambition. I'm talking about knowing who you are. I'm talking about standing up in your Father's robe that he's prepared for you. I'm telling you to get off of this survival track and start thinking about succeeding. Surviving is not enough. If you want to follow and get more information, more material to transform your mind, to think like the conqueror you were created to be, I can't come to you personally, but I can come to you through the auspices of my new book, Destiny, and we can discuss it more deeply. You can hit me up on Twitter and Facebook. I could mentor you, as it were, even from afar, to help you to move from survival to success. I'm supposed to be getting you ready for a non-traditional miracle. A miracle that defies anything you have ever seen God do before. I almost call this sermon, "The Wait is Over." Because somebody's been waiting for 38 years. But the Lord said this Sunday,